In this video, we're going to be going over reflections, our third transformation. And notice I have a rule for you up here at the top. It says the rule is if you reflect over the y-axis, you must change the sign of the x value. And if you reflect over the x-axis, you must change the sign of the y value. In my opinion, this is actually the easiest transformation of all because we don't do really any math. We're just changing the sign. Now, notice this first problem over here. It says reflect the pre-image over the x-axis. Now, when I say x-axis, I'm meaning the one that we label x, our left and right axis. That's what we're going to flip over because it says over the x-axis. Notice over here it says reflect over the x-axis. On your notes, I made you a little cheat sheet over here. And notice that has us changing the sign of the y. So in other words, we started with a positive y, but since we reflected over the x-axis, we just changed that value to a negative value. That's all there is to it. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. First thing we want to do is write the rule. So our rule is going to be x, y, and then we're going to go ahead and write our x, comma, and our y. And the only thing is, I'm going to change this y to a negative. And I say a negative, don't see it as a negative. I shouldn't have said negative. I'm just going to change the sign of it. So when you see that negative sign in front of the y or in front of the x, I want you to just think, change the sign. If it's a negative, you change it to a positive. It's a positive, you change it to a negative, and vice versa. So let's write our three ordered pairs. This is JKL, and it is a triangle. So I'm going to go ahead and start by writing J. And then I'm going to leave a little space for J prime. And then we have K. And leave a little space for K prime. And L. And finally, L prime. With that being said, let's get our ordered pairs. So for J, I go from origin to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. So negative 4 for my x value. And then I go up, 1, 2, 3, 4. So positive 4. For K, I go over 1. So negative 1 for the x value. 1, 2, 3. And a positive 3 for the y value. For L, I go over 1, 2. Negative 2 for the x value. And then up 1. So positive 1 for the y value. Remember, our rule says that all we're going to do is change the y symbol. So what I like to do is circle the one that I'm going to change. So for instance, x, we don't do anything to it, right? Because we're flipping over the x-axis. We're just going to go ahead and leave it the same, so it's still negative 4. This 4 that I circled becomes a negative 4. Take this down, negative 1. Change the sign of 3 to a negative 3. Take that negative 2 down, change the sign of 1. And those are my prime values after the reflection. Super simple. That's all there is to it. So now let's go ahead and plot these. J prime is negative 4, negative 4. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be J prime. K prime is negative 1, negative 3. Over 1, down 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be K prime. L prime is negative 2, negative 1. Over 2, down 1. L prime. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect my lines to draw my shape. Oh, okay, kind of messed that one up just a little bit. Let me go again. There we go. Alright, I'm just going to shade this in real quick. Alright, so notice our shape that it just reflected over the x-axis. In other words, when we say reflect over the x-axis, it literally just jumped over. Mirror image on the opposite side. Another way you can check these that's really simple is you can just say from the x-axis, it should be the same distance away. For instance, L is 1 unit away. So L prime is 1 unit away. K is 3 units away. So K prime is 3 units the opposite way. J is 1, 2, 3, 4 units up. So the opposite way, which is down, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just a quick check to make sure you did it right. And this one is correct. Let's try this other one right here. Now we're going to be doing a reflection over the y-axis. And our y-axis is our vertical axis that runs up and down. Now remember, our rule for reflection over the y-axis, right, is the only thing that we change is the x value. Whatever it is, if it's a negative x, we're going to make it positive. Or if it's a positive x, we'll make it negative. But we're going to change that x value. So let's go ahead and write our rule, and we'll write it right here. So we're going to say x and y. And because it's going over the y-axis, we're going to change the x. So I'm going to put a negative sign in front of the x, which means change the sign on that value. And then y. And that's my algebraic rule. Negative x and y. So let's write our ordered pairs. We're going to start with j. And then after j, we're going to have k. And then we're going to have L. We have to write our new ones, right, which is going to be J prime, K prime, and L prime. So my ordered pair for J, from origin, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So left 4, up 4. For K, I go 1 and 1, 2, 3. Negative 1 to the left and up 3. L, I go to the left, 1, 2, so negative 2, up 1, positive 1. Now, in this case, right, we know that we're just going to be changing x, so we're going to change the one I circle. I circle the x, negative 4 becomes a positive 4. And I just bring down the y value. That's J prime. Negative 1 becomes a positive 1. And then I'm going to bring down my y value of 3. That's K prime. And I'm going to change that negative 2 to a positive 2 and bring down this 1. And we are done. So let's plot our points and see what it looks like. J prime is 4, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be J prime. K prime is 1, 3. So over 1, up, 1, 2, 3. K prime. And L prime is 2, 1. Over 2, up 1. L prime. So let's go ahead and draw our image real quick. Alright, I am going to go ahead and shade in my shape. I recommend you shading your shape when you're doing these. Makes it easy for me to check it. And now that I've got it shaded in, notice I have a mirror image, right? So K, notice over here, it's left 1. The new one is right 1. L is left 1, 2. From here, it's right 1, 2. J, it's going to be left 1, 2, 3, 4. From that same point, it's right 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know that we did it right. And that's finished. So what I would like for you to do is I want you to try to reflect this image over the x-axis. Write the rule and then do the reflection, but make sure you pause this video before doing so. Pause the video, go ahead and do it, show all your ordered pairs, and then I want you to resume the video and see if you got the same thing that I got. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write my rule. So my rule for this one, right, I have x and y. And notice on this one, we are going to reflect over the x-axis. And that means that we're going to reflect over this horizontal axis. Right? And therefore, the only value that we're going to change is we're going to be moving all of our points. They're going to be jumping over, going down. So we're just going to change the values of our y. And I shouldn't say the values, but we're going to change the sign. So let's go ahead and say this is going to be x. And this is going to be y. But we're going to put a negative sign in front of it, which means change that sign, which changes it from either a positive to a negative value or a negative to a positive value. In this case, we're positive, so we'll be going negative. Let's go ahead and write our ordered pairs. So we have A, we have B, and we have C. And so therefore, we're going to have A prime, we're going to have B prime, and we're going to have C prime. So let's look at A. A's location, it's on origin, so my x value is 0. We don't move left or right for the origin, we stay dead on it. And we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's going to be 4. For B, we're going to go to the right, 1, 2, so our x value is 2, and we got to go up 1. So 1 for our y value. For C, we go to the right from origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go up 1, 2, 3. So that's 4, 3. Now we know we're going to be changing our y values, right? Because we're flipping over this x-axis. And so therefore, I'm going to circle my y's because we're going to be changing all those signs. I bring down my x value. This 4 changes to a negative 4. Bring down my x value. That y value changes to a negative 1. Bring down my x value. And this y value changes to a negative 3. Those are my 3 ordered pairs. And now let's plot them. A prime is at 0, negative 4. So 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be A prime. B prime is 2, negative 1. So I'll go over 2, down 1. That's B prime. And C prime is 4, negative 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my shape real quick. Alright, I'm going to shade in my shape. And there it goes. It's a mirror image.